This is Austin.
And Jon.
And welcome to another episode of the Meatgistics podcast. I'm a little scared for today because before we started, I was telling Jon that I needed to bring some sort of meat in and make something so we could do the little game we started of trying to guess the flavor because I really want to shoot Jon. And then Jon's getting all giddy and he already has something planned and cooked up for me. So I'm hopefully not going to get shot by the salt gun today.
Last week was your chance. You didn't do anything about it, so I wasn't going to bring it up. So I have something for you today. You have a far better chance at getting this right and not getting shot. So they are currently cooking in our toaster oven.
Yeah, I mean, it's bratwurst or some sort of sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Last time it was the deep fried alligator.
Yep.
That is a little more outside my wheelhouse.
Sure.
We're getting into actual meat processing stuff, and I've got a leg up on you.
So if you guess the protein and the seasoning, you get to shoot me, or I just don't shoot you at all?
No, I get to shoot you.
Okay, that is how I was hoping that wasn't what we said. Here's a problem, though. I don't know where the gun is.
Oh, you're full of it. You're so full of it. We will take a break and we'll find it.
Okay. Speaking of the assault gun, though, the Bug Zapper is now online, ready to be purchased and soon to be sold out.
Have you taken one home and used it out yet?
No, I absolutely should, though, because we have to crack the door open for my one dog or he goes psychotic. So flies get into my house all the time and I chase them around like a maniac.
I'm going to have to remember to grab one before I go home for the weekend because, yeah, bugs are always a problem at our house. And especially this time of year and on the weekends, we'll sit on the back porch. I'm just going to sit there with the Bug Zapper in hand, ready to hit things, especially wasps. We have so many wasps flying around and I hate wasps. I can't say the word wasps.
You said it pretty good there that second time. First time you didn't. Wasps are absolutely useless. Bees are actually surprisingly cool. Like, I don't think I've ever been stung by a bee. Yellow jackets, wasps, hornets. I've been stung by all those, but I don't think like a honeybee has ever actually stung me.
They're only like bees. I think are only aggressive if you mess with their hive.
Yeah. Other than that, they just want to go out and get some pollen and get some whatever.
My brother and I, when we were, I don't know, I was probably probably like 7, trying to calculate what house we were living in, what age I'd been. I was probably 7, so he was probably 4. We were playing outside, and we had these 2 rows of evergreens, and in the middle, there wasn't really a lot going on. My dad would like put stuff in there to just keep it out of sight for storage. There was a little tiny trailer for like a tractor back in there with some stuff. We were back in there playing with stuff. Dylan lifted up a pot, and it had like a honeybee hive or something in it, and they flew out and stung him, and he was crying. And I got out of there in time.
Tripped him and ran.
I was faster than him. Yes. I may have pushed him down. I don't know.
Probably. All right. So on to meat news. I want to talk about this. Meat matters. Sorry. On to meat matters. I want to talk about this first one, and then I want to ramble for a while on something else. So the first one is this article. It says, Kansas sees increasing numbers of mountain lions, black bears, and elk. Armadillos and deer, they're everywhere. So obviously deer have been in Kansas. I don't understand why that was included.
That's nothing new.
I mean, we're known for whitetail. That's a stupid...
Kansas is one of the best places in the country to bag a whitetail.
Yeah, this is terrible inclusion there. Armadillos also, who cares? They're neither cute, dangerous, or interesting, at least in my mind.
They're a rodent, so they're kind of gross.
And they carry leprosy.
Yeah.
I think it's leprosy.
I think so, yeah.
It's one of those weird ones. But mountain lions, obviously that's super topical for me because I have been obsessed with mountain lions for a long time. Ever since Nick Hoffman told me it's his favorite meat to eat, I've been dying to eat a mountain lion. Then we started seeing, they started getting reported that they were being seen in Wichita. There was one downtown. There was one east of us. And then there was one less than a mile from my home. Picture, everything. And some people were like, oh, that's a neighborhood cat. Like, yeah, a neighborhood cat that's been taking HGH and Trenibol for 6 years. The thing was like 90 pounds. How is that a neighborhood cat? But, so I think I told the story in a live stream. My dogs went ape-s one day. Just like, they found this one spot and they would not move away from smelling it. And their hackles were all up. So I'm pretty sure they were smelling where a mountain lion had just peed or had peed or something like that. But we went out hunting it, like hardcore. Never found it. Didn't find any scat, any prints or anything like that. But this past Monday and Tuesday, my wife and I had to drive up to Kansas City to have our big dog have his second knee surgery. And on the way back, she was talking to somebody, and her job, they run 24 hours. So the evening shift will leave notes like for the next shift coming in. And one of the notes they left is, saw a mountain lion walking off the property on the south field. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So they're definitely in this area. And I highly doubt that it's one animal that's been spotted all 4 of those places, especially when you talk about that one in Andover. That looked like a big, that looked like a male, at least semi-mature, probably not fully mature, but it was a good size. Yeah. I'm gonna check those out.
Okay. I wonder if everyone else out there gets as excited as we do about seeing like new animals that aren't like normally in your neck of the woods. Like for us, it's seeing mountain lions. For someone else, do they get as excited seeing a deer because they don't have just deer running around everywhere? Like if you saw like a whole bunch of deer running around in Florida, would that be exciting to people?
They have deer in Florida. They're just smaller.
I don't know. I'm just
the big one though. The big difference there is city people versus like rural suburban. So like anywhere that you're in a city, seeing a deer is like a very special, like, oh, look, we're in touch with nature. When you're out in the country, you're like, get out of my way, you stupid deer. Don't hit my car. And they make annoying noises, and they're almost pests, really. So like if you don't have a real nice balance with nature, then it's like special. Other than that, it sucks. What I'm most excited about though, river otters are making their way back into Kansas. That is, I don't have any idea why I'm so excited about this, but I am. I'll probably never get a chance to see one because they're super like reclusive and stuff. But I love the idea of there being river otters around, mostly because on Instagram, they are the most adorable things in the world. They use their tummies for things, and they just have these big, cute, round faces. I absolutely adore river otters.
They're like going to like the zoo. They're entertaining to watch. Like some animals, they just kind of sit there and it's whatever. But like river otters, like they're active.
Yep.
They're fun to watch.
Down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I think there's a really good aquarium. And one of the sections of that is a river otter thing. And it's got these like slides with water running on them. And they literally, the entire time we're there, they just run all the way up to the top, come down the slide all the way, and it looks twisty and turny, and then stop, run right back up. And they just kept doing it. They are very high energy animals. And I would like to have one as a pet, but I'm pretty sure my dogs would eat it.
So in the article, it says that river otters were depleted by unregulated hunting.
Probably.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think here. Like, is it more trapping, or are they hunting them to eat them? Because I don't picture that as being a very pleasant animal to eat. I'm assuming it's for the fur.
It's got to be for the fur. I say that just based off of no knowledge whatsoever, but I can't imagine like anything in the stout family being tasty.
Disclaimer here, John and I are not experts in river otters. We are experts in meat processing, but not river otters.
And cute animals on Instagram.
You would be an expert in cute animals on Instagram. That is not in my wheelhouse. I've pretty much stopped using every form of social media. I was using a few platforms kind of here and there, but I don't use anything anymore.
Yeah, and you're probably much happier too.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I wanted to kind of ramble on that, I'm somewhere in the 85% sure, which really means like 50% sure in when you use like the Jon calculator, that there is a copperhead on my pond. So I was walking along the pond the other day and had my dog with me, and I was in front of him, and I looked down and I see something move, and its head went out over the water, and it was the triangle shape.
Yeah.
Like it was not the narrow head of a what do they call it, a western diamondback water snake or diamondback water snake. It was not that. It had an arrow head shape to it. So I'm pretty sure it was a copperhead. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but
Could you put some traps out? Could you catch it?
So I think somebody used to do that in my pond, because every once in a while I'd find them like wrapped up, caught up in this like netting thing. So I'm netting all around the edges of my pond to prevent erosion. But I think somebody was doing something to like balling that up and putting something in there so they'd go in and get trapped. But I don't like the idea of that. Even though I hate snakes, I hate the idea. Like if I want to kill it, I want it to be a fair one-on-one fight. And like I will arm myself with my 9-iron, which is my trusty snake killing golf club.
Not your 10-iron?
Not the 10-iron. That's where my 9-iron is. That's where my 9-iron's not in my golf bag because it's in my garage because I used to kill snakes with it. Okay. That makes sense.
This is great. Yes, I love this.
Lots of stuff going on. But I don't know how I feel about going up against a copperhead with just my 9-iron. That might require a driver.
I don't want to have a fair fight against an animal or anything. I want to come in with an extreme advantage. I'd rather come in with a nuclear bomb and they're there with their fists. But
don't you feel then like that's unfair, unsporting?
No, not at all. I mean, go bird hunting with a shotgun and all they have are wings. And let's be honest, the wings aren't going to do anything.
Not that fast. That's fair. That's a good point. But you're hunting those to eat. This is like, I'm just exterminating this. I'm not trying to eat this. I just want it dead. So I feel like it deserves. Here's the problem though. If it bites my dogs, I will burn down. That doesn't make any sense. I will drain the entire pond. So
I'll buy an industrial size pump. I feel like this would be a fun project.
Over the road, flood the other field. But yeah, I did some reading a couple of years ago, and they said that copperheads are not in Kansas, but they lie a lot about things. They used to tell people that there were no mountain lions in here too, and then they admitted that they used to tell people there were no mountain lions so that people wouldn't go hunting them.
Interesting.
So, what do we think of this sausage?
It's definitely a traditional flavor.
Okay.
I mean,
I did nothing to it. I took it right out of the package. No extra, not even carrot fiber, no nothing. That is just meat, which you have to guess, and seasoning, which you have to guess.
I mean, it should be a pork blue ribbon brat.
Oh, I mean, it should be, but is it?
Yeah.
So you're saying A, pork, B, blue ribbon.
Yep.
Okay. So what do we do when you get one right?
I
shoot you in the hand.
No, I get to shoot. No, if I miss them both, I get shot in the hand. If I get one, I shoot you in the hand. If I get both, I shoot you in the neck.
Okay. All right. So you get to shoot me in the hand. And I lied. I knew where it was. It's right here. I just didn't want to get shot.
I actually think we need to change the rules about the neck. I don't like that. Too close to the head, the eyes, workman comp issues.
You do it like right up against the neck. No, I was trying to. I probably shouldn't tell you this. I was trying to shoot a hole in a styrofoam cup the other day, and I did like 10 shots and never made it all the way through. My skin's a lot stronger than styrofoam, so we'll be okay.
Maybe. You're a pretty gentle soul.
Yes. What I did do, though, is go through and replace all the salt with a much softer salt. No. You can't double pump it.
It doesn't do anything.
No, yeah, right. You release that. Take the safety off and shoot that out. Okay, that didn't sound like it did anything extra.
Pump it once.
Okay.
Feel the tension. It's loaded. Now pump it again.
Okay, there's nothing.
It does nothing when you pump again.
All right, safety's off.
Okay, because I'm sporty, I'm going to give John a countdown.
Don't do that. You're going to do it earlier anyways.
3, 2, 1.
You got me right on the soft pad.
Perfect.
That stings. No. One shot was the deal. So that is horseradish brat.
Really?
Yeah.
It has a very strong blue ribbon flavor.
As soon as I opened that bag of seasoning, my first thought was, oh, they just used blue ribbon brat. It is exactly blue ribbon brat with just a teeny bit of horseradish powder, I think. You don't even pick up the horseradish powder until the end. Now, I'm not a big fan of the blue ribbon brat. I know it's our bestseller. I know all the Waltons love it. I like this more than the blue ribbon because I think it gives that little zing at the end, gives it something extra. I think they made a mistake with this. Somebody who's ordering horseradish brat wants that horseradish taste to be at least 10 times stronger than that. Like they should have called this something else, like zesty blue ribbon or something, and that would sell really well.
Yeah.
But by trying to call it horseradish, you're missing the people who want a traditional brat with some zest, which is what that is. And you're enticing the people who really want something out there, which this is not. So they're going to be disappointed. So we should get in touch with Excalibur and tell them that I've determined that their naming is incorrect for this.
It's just going to be up to you to make the description better on the website. Because really, I don't get much to any horseradish flavor in it.
So here's the problem, though. It says horseradish brat on the label. So even if I rename it something, I can't. Because once they get it, they're going to be like, this isn't what I ordered. We
do that with our Holly Regular. We really should probably rename that because it is a custom blend.
Does it still say medium #1 bestseller? No, we changed it to Holly Regular.
We changed it, but the bag, when you get it, says like GC 5060.
Oh, does it really?
Something.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need to change that. Yeah, we need to change that so it's Holly Regular.
The problem is we do that, and then people, they're so used to buying it and getting it that way.
Especially the commercial customers.
Yeah, the commercial customers may freak out going, this isn't my seasoning.
And then
it's like, yes, it is. We just changed the name so it's more accurate. And then people are going to be pissed because we did that.
I made some and it doesn't taste the same. You made another change too. When I used to work for a internet company down in Texas, they had bought another company called PDQ.com, Pretty Darn Quick. And they had bought them right before I got there. And we integrated all of their customers into our systems, on our connection, all that. And the #1 thing we always heard was always worked with PDQ, always worked with PDQ. Like we could go back and look through their logs, like their service logs. And I'm like, no, it absolutely did not. You used to call in every week about this, but they would just always say that. Yep, this always worked perfectly with PDQ. So you give anyone a chance to complain about something by making a change, they will take you up on that.
Yeah.
However, I do have to say this, and I hope some of them are listening. I've been dealing with not quite a few, 5 to 10 customers on coupon issues, and everybody has been absolutely wonderfully patient with us. I do think that everything we do, all the how-to videos, all the live streams, the giveaways, this podcast, I really do think it buys us a certain amount of goodwill with our customers, which is very valuable in my mind.
Yeah, they know that we're not just slinging something around and saying one thing and doing another.
Right.
Like we actually care, we mean what we say, and when something's wrong, we are doing everything we can to fix it as fast as we can. So finally this week, some things started to kind of get like checked off, like fixed. For a while there, it was just like, new problem. Okay, the old problems are still there. New problem. Okay, that problem and all those problems are still there, but they're finally starting to get. Did you get my email about the coupon and the shipping?
The shipping? The cheese?
Yeah, shipping, coupon, cheese, all that. I got all that to work too. So
all on one?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So both with expedited and economy?
Yeah.
How'd you do it?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. I didn't say. Oh, we were supposed to meet earlier so you could teach me expressions.
Oh, yeah. Did you put in a calendar event?
I don't know. I thought I did.
Because I thought you said you were going to. Whatever.
I did. Well,
no one else cares about this.
It's very important. Very important. All right. Moving on. Lab-grown meat, worse for the planet than beef. I can't believe it. You mean something that has to be grown in a lab is worse than something in nature?
You want to see my shocked face?
Go. This is exactly the same thing with buying a Tesla is worse for the environment than driving your old car. Those mines for the whatever it is that they need for their batteries is an absolute disaster. I get why people want to do it. Getting off fossil fuels long term, or at least reducing them, does make sense. But you have to be honest with yourself when you're buying one. You're not doing something good for the environment. It is not accurate. So this is the same thing in my mind.
Yeah, and here's an interesting stat from the article.
Sorry.
I maybe should know this, but I didn't. I knew Kansas was high, but I didn't know what number. Kansas ranks 3rd nationally in beef production. I'm very curious now who actually gets number 1 and 2, but
Colorado.
no way.
Colorado is a ton. And I don't think it's Texas. I was going to say California or Iowa. Look it up. He's probably right, though. It probably is Texas. But Colorado has a ton of...
No.
No?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
Colorado.
Well, Texas is number 1. Like it has to be. Texas forever has been known for beef. They have the most head of beef by far, then Oklahoma. Kansas is actually down the list on the number of beef cows.
So what is it number 3 for?
We're probably higher for production. People are probably bringing them in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the number of them out on the range.
Oh.
Because then the biggest thing is the area of your state. Texas and California, Oklahoma. Wyoming gets a little cold for it in the winter.
I don't know. I'll keep looking to see what I can find, but at least number of head. I mean, Texas is twice as much as anybody else, over twice as much. So I'm sure they're number 1
in producing,
in actual production.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know what always gets me? I see it every couple of months, maybe every once a year. There's this video of cows being released from the barn. I think it's in Sweden. And then the first time they get to be on grass in like 6 months or something. And the cows are ecstatic, like unbelievable. Like they're actually like prancing and hopping like dogs and deer. It is adorable. And never fails. Somebody always says like, it's so wrong to keep them locked up for, 6 months of the year. I can't believe we do this. And finally, for the first time, I saw someone respond like, what did you want them to do? Leave them out and just let them freeze to death? They're in the barn to keep them safe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me sad how stupid people are sometimes. And that's coming from a very stupid person. Do you have anything else on that?
No, that's all I got.
I knew this and I said it during the live stream. I don't remember if you remember, but during a live stream, somebody said, hey, any comment on the largest meat producer in the world being hacked today? And we both said, yeah, it seems like it's in line with the pipeline. And I said, they say they didn't pay anything. I said, but that's what they say. JBS pays $11 million in ransom to hackers.
Yeah. From what I understand, I haven't read the article here, but from what I've read elsewise, it sounded like they had backups to cover themselves, but they paid the ransom anyways because they didn't want any of their data leaked or anything else brought to light. They didn't know
what's in there.
Yeah, they didn't know if they had anything. Well, I mean, it'd be the same thing around here. Like,
we're not paying anyone $11 million. We will come find you.
Oh,
and commando raid right in your window.
We don't have $11 million. So
fair enough. Worry. Yes.
No one would even loan us $11 million. So, but I mean, if it was around here and we had some sort of issue that it would be pocket change to us to fix and make sure that no one stole customer information. I mean, that would be worth it. But to them, $11 million is pocket change. That'd be like coming to us and say, hey, we hacked you for $1,000.
We'll give it back.
Yeah.
Iowa, North Carolina, Texas, Georgia, Arkansas. I was right about Iowa being up there. So, all right, but why isn't Kansas in that?
Oh, that's total meat production probably. Iowa's so huge because of pork.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Being huge. Thank you, Patrick. Very handy having him just roving around.
I think that should be like a new official way to like communicate during the podcast with Patrick is he's carrying around this like 3x5 whiteboard.
That's what I no longer do a script for our monthly sales. I just write down not even the full name, something to remember it by and what the price is going to be now. Everything's so much easier without a script where I can just talk.
Yeah.
Reading is hard.
I always had to have the script because I can't do that.
That's what this entire thing is.
Yeah, it's different. This is something where we don't have to hit every little bit perfectly and cover everything in detail to a T.
Here's an important question. Have you watched any of our sales videos in the last 2 years? Because to call them perfect, it would be a misnomer.
I watch them every now and then, but
Okay.
I might need to go back and watch more.
No, I'm just kidding. They're fine. But yeah, so now thinking of it in that light, where we would do it to protect our customers. We would do it to make sure that our customer information did not get leaked out. If that was their reason for doing it, I can understand it more. I still wish they wouldn't do it because it's just going to encourage this behavior. Like kidnapping was a dead thing in the United States. Nobody did it because the FBI came down on you and you never got the money and you always got killed or caught. That's how we need to treat this. Like it needs to become a zero profit game. You're gonna get caught.
Yeah. The second something like this happens, though, people report it to the FBI and the FBI is on it. They're still going to go after them. It's not like they're going to get away scot free. I mean, they could still get caught, but
okay. But what was the really rich guy whose baby got stolen, kidnapped? It was a long time ago. Lindbergh. Can't believe I can't remember this, but they basically, like the family tried to get them back, but they were working with the FBI and the FBI kept telling them to like switch bags and do things. They basically got that baby killed to protect everybody else.
yeah,
I
don't know.
No, I'm a hardliner on crime. Some crimes, not all crimes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I it's hard. Put yourself in, if you put yourself in that person's position, are you going to do the same thing? Yes, you don't want to give in because giving in does make it worth it and other people see it and they want to do it. But when you're in those shoes,
Yeah.
and you have to make that decision, probably a little bit harder.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. All right. You're president for 3 weeks and then you're going to abdicate. You're just whatever. What are 3 things you're changing? Like, and you have complete control. You could just basically rewrite any laws. You don't have to go through Congress. Just these are the way these things are from now.
I'm going to basically cancel out 90% of the federal laws and return them all to the states as it was designed to, because I like to live one way and California likes to live another way.
Sure.
And I want to live my way.
And that should be fine.
Yeah. That's
you
why
should
we
be able to move.
That's why we have 50 states. Yep. So
absolutely. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm a huge states' right person. First thing I would do is I would go through and any non-violent drug offender who did not plead down to that charge, out of prison right now. I'd end for-profit prisons. I would slash the federal government as well. And this might be the most important, I would make sure that everything was changed so that a 19 millimeter casing fits on a 19 millimeter tube, that those two things go together, because there's no reason the 19 millimeter goes with a 12 millimeter. Just change something and make them all the same.
It's all just based off of sizes. So instead of calling it a 19 millimeter stuffing tube, call it a stuffing tube for 19 millimeter casings.
Sure. That will work too.
Just rename it.
That will work too. But the problem there is it's not just for 19 millimeters. It'll fit anything larger than that as well.
Well, yeah.
So we just change all the manufacturing and make it just a 1-to-1.
I don't know how you're going to do that.
I don't know either. But
you're going to have to reinvent physics for that to happen.
No. You just like the size. You change the size of what they're producing. So you make a 19 millimeter stuffing tube the same size as 12 millimeters, but you just call it a 19 millimeter stuffing tube so that those two things go together.
Is that not what I just said earlier?
Kind of, but you just said you were more saying like take the 12 millimeter one and rename it to 4. I want to remove the ability for anyone to buy a 12 millimeter stuffing tube because there's no 12 millimeter casing. It's just the size of the collagen.
Good luck with that.
Then I would gracefully step down after making sure the Redskins won the next Super Bowl. Washington football team. Which I don't even care about. Honestly, I've been a Washington Skins fan, whatever, since I was a little tiny kid. And when the controversy first started coming up, I was like, change it. Why deal with all this negative press? And I do think the NFL would tell the refs, don't give them calls. Do not give them any, because they hated the fact that we were a team name that some people found offensive. Also, the marketing, everyone's going to buy new gear now.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. If we made the playoffs last year as the Washington football team, if we win a Super Bowl as the Washington football team, we might be the Washington football team long term.
I wouldn't worry about it because you're definitely not winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, you're not paying attention.
Because you have to deal with the Chiefs, who are going to be contenders every year.
You have a terrible defense.
Now you have, unfortunately, I hate to say it, I'm looking at Patrick. You got the Titans because they just picked up Julio.
They make me way more nervous than the Chiefs.
No.
Don't you put that evil
No.
on?
The Redskins, or the Washington, has, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion, the best defense in the NFL. Our front four offense or defensive linemen are ridiculous. Our backup would Matt Ioannidis would start on any other team in the NFL and be a star on any other team in the NFL.
Whoever said defense wins championships ought to be shot, because you have to score points to win. So I'm going with offense, and that's the Chiefs.
You just need to be able to move the chains to win. You need to be able to stop them and move the chains. What's interesting to me is before Bill Belichick and Brady got together, this was still a run and stop the run league. Then They started, I remember the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers where they threw 30 something times in a row, and the announcers were freaking out. They were literally losing their mind. They're like, I gotta run now. But nope, just quick little outs. Anyways, sorry. All right.
We need to change the name of this podcast to Everything and Anything on Jon and Austin's Mind.
All right. This one, are you on the butchery program?
Yeah.
Okay. First, let's describe or tell them what it is. Seeing an urgent need, college launches butchery program. So with meat processing delays growing, especially taxing small harvest and fabrication operations, Madison Area Technical College in Wisconsin has added an artisanal modern meat butchery program to its curriculum. It's become very clear to everyone that our local processing capacity is really inadequate to the demand, and that the large meat processors are incapable of responding rapidly in the case of a situation like the pandemic or any other disruption to the supply chain. Full stop. 100% agree with that statement. 100%. And your father and I were talking about this. One of the nice things that came out of the JBS hack and shutdown is there's a plant in Watertown, New York, that they basically said that that's the last straw. We're opening this. We're going to go ahead and do this. We can't keep having these meat supply chains getting interrupted because the big guys keep getting screwed up.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. A, for our business. B, it's awesome for the meat supply chain. But do not go to college to specialize in being a butcher. If you want to go to college and you want to be a butcher, go for business and then open your butcher shop.
Yeah. This, though, is not like a whole college degree, though. It's like a certificate program, a technical college. It's like 20, it says it towards the bottom, 24 credit hours, which is perfect. So this is more of what I would say is like an apprenticeship almost type of deal. You're getting some experience, you're learning some. You're not going to college for 130 credit hours. You're going for 24 credit hours. That is, honestly, that's probably the bulk and all you need when you're getting a major in something. Most of your hours are not actually on stuff that you're learning about, because your first 2 years are all just junk classes and intro classes and gen eds. You don't get that many hours in your actual degree per se.
So there was a very specific reason that I didn't read the last paragraph out loud, and that was it. Don't you know anything about getting the user interested in no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I pull back some of my vehemence there, but at the same time, what is 20 or 30 credit hours costing you now? A lot of money. And you could go do an apprenticeship and get paid for that.
Yeah, $4,200, which really, that isn't bad.
That is not bad. Can you stop poking holes in my bag of anger over here?
Because to be honest, I look at it and I think these type of things
are better than
are
this.
great.
For sure.
I think this is the way to do education in my mind. But
if it's $4,200 and if it's not a full like degree, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so yeah. I pull back some of my anger on that. And way to go, I was going to say Artisanal Modern Meat College, Madison Area Technical College, and we had that college, or not, I don't even know what you would call it. Finishing school is wrong. The program in Oklahoma that's using all of our documentation and videos. Do you remember that?
I remember talking about it. I don't remember who or what it is.
I don't remember what it was either, but no, it wasn't Hormel. Yeah, that would be bad. No, it's a small college. It's not even a small college. It's a small program for kids that get out of high school, don't want to go to college, and do want to learn some skills. So one of their programs is something like this, and they're using the Meatgistics stuff. It's kind of like here's some more information on it. This is how you do this, this, and this. And we made the agreement they could do that as long as they put like Walton's logos on training documents.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe just for fun, we should that we're not a higher education institution, but what if we had like a Meatgistics degree, just like a fun deal, and like everything that we have on the site.
I know what it. Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Keep talking about it, but I know what we're doing.
Okay. Like you create basically a quiz, and people can cheat with quizzes because they can just have something open and Google it. So you put a time limit on it.
You can cheat on anything.
You have like 50 questions and you have 10 minutes to do it. And if you can go through and get 90% right, we give people special access to a group on Meatgistics.
Okay. Or we get a really nice, like official looking wall hanging, not even diploma, like wood engraved. And that's the 2000 post reward. And it's a Meatgistics degree.
Yeah, but we just talked to one of the guys that is already in that club. And do we really want to give him that?
He's not over 2000.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone's over 2000 but me.
Oh, maybe it was 1500.
Yeah.
Wait, no, because 1500 was a reward, right?
1500 is a reward.
No, then he's over 2000.
Is he really?
So
he's automatically going to get the next thing too?
Tex and Joe Hell are both over 2000.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Is somebody nipping on my heels? What's going on here? Let's see here. Post count. Okay, no, I'm way above. Just under 6,000.
I'm going to go through, because we were talking from one of the ideas Tex had that he gave us, and I was looking at the API for our system. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go through and use that to automate changing the ownership of all of your posts to me.
Yeah, because technically you got the knife out of pity and honestly out of respect too.
No. For
starting it all.
I own the company, so I get it.
Yeah, but no, when we were getting those knives, I told Austin that he wasn't getting one until he got his post count up. But since none of these posts would exist without you, we decided that we'd
built
go
the
ahead.
site. Every post should technically be mine.
The site. But God, I love the last couple of nights I've been able to, at the end of the night, just relax. My wife's doing something else, and I've just been able to peruse Meatgistics. And it's so much fun to watch what it's become. It's so different than what I imagined it would be. Like it really is. And you again called this out like a year or maybe even a year and a half ago. You said it's changing. People are starting to use it more as like a social, or it's not like almost like a
communication,
another option to social media, like social media without it being like technically a social media site. People are using it to chat, to help each other. It's awesome. There, enough sappiness.
Yeah. I have to say something since you did, but I just remember when I first started, I had to beg and plead people to join and to post, and all my time was just spent like, would you please be a member? Would you please make a post and all this? And now I can just, I can sit back and watch and just go, thank goodness I don't have to beg anyone to do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was in customer service when you started this, and I don't even think I had an account for a long time. I think at one point you came in and basically made it not mandatory, but like, hey, make an account. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I kind of did some of that on purpose to an extent. I didn't want everyone here creating an account like right at the beginning and then it looking like it was just Walton's people
Employees,
posting.
yeah.
That's why like I was the only one that ever responded. I made sure I personally took care of everything because there needed to be one person in charge, one person point of contact, and it not just look like a flood of Walton people everywhere.
Plus,
that's why I think like where you are now today, like people know you as Jon. You're the guy that came after me. That you were the one point of contact. You did everything.
Oh,
so
that must have felt good to say that I was after you.
Oh yeah, that felt great.
All right. So here's an interesting coronavirus thing for the loss of smell. And Patrick, I'd like you to, if you have an answer to this, come up. Coronavirus loss of smell. Meat tasted like petrol. Did you ever have that, Patrick? Gas. Here's the thing that makes me think that, or not that makes me think that, that's interesting to me about this. My wife cannot stand the smell or anything that's had canola oil in it. It literally, it was never a problem before. And I never put that and the coronavirus together until I read that headline. And now I'm thinking that might be from coronavirus. But I can't, the Lone Star tick would be terrible. But that ends. Like they say, it goes from like 8 months to 5 years. And eventually that gets out of your system.
Oh, really?
Where you get allergic to meat. Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I interjecting real quick, I got bit by a tick when we were playing golf in that tournament.
Did you really?
When Darren and I were looking for one of the balls we hit in the tall grass, like I stepped like 3 feet in and then got out and like as we were walking back to the cart, I thought there was something on my arm and I'm like, oh, it's a spider. I start smacking it, nothing's happening. I'm like, tick. I'm grabbing it, trying to get it out. And then it bit my finger as I'm trying to throw it away. And I was like, I couldn't remember the name of it. I'm like, don't get that disease Jon talks about.
I'm fairly sure, just like any other disease a tick has, it has to be latched on for over 24 hours to transmit it.
Oh,
I'm fairly sure. I'm not sure on that one, but like on Lyme disease, they have to be attached. Dude, I pulled the tick off Brutus the other day. It had been on it was huge. Like I saw it. I went, oh no. And pushed my wife out of the way. I'm like, you don't want to see this at all. But
you need to give them like, you can give them like little vitamin things. He went into
the vet the next day.
Now they also have like either, I don't know if it's a shot or an oral deal that instead of doing like a monthly pill, you just do it once every 3 months.
Okay.
I don't have my dog on that yet. She's Yam. She's not a year old yet, so she couldn't.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I've been bugging Austin for months. Just show me a picture of the dog. I don't think it actually exists.
I thought it was Satisfied. My wife showed you pictures.
No, I want like regular updates so I can feel like I'm a part of Yam's life. I'd like to meet it eventually.
You want like 50-50 visitation rights?
Something.
Okay.
Something. But no, what a terrible hell that must be to have meat taste like gas.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. So since I've been doing this thing on Meatgistics where I'm trying to eat only foods that I'm making, like I'm not buying any grocery, like pre-prepared meals, anything like that. We fell off there for a week and a half. Well, there was so much going on. We had to take Brutus up to, I had a ton of things going on. So I was just like, ugh. And my wife is a ridiculously good baker. Like it's obscene. She made this cake. I posted it on Meatgistics. It was 3 levels. In the middle of each level was cookie butter frosting. And then the whole thing outside was a buttercream frosting. And she did like, not that it changed the taste, but she's got like those baking tips, like for frosting tips. And she did little like almost flowers, like the entire way up. It was amazing. And she made cookies that were, they were like kind of a snickerdoodle type like that, but they had M&Ms, pretzels, Heath Bar Crunch, and something else. I couldn't resist. I literally was powerless.
Wait, yeah. So your pecans you made the other day. Do those qualify in your diet?
Yeah, I made them.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't have eaten them. They're bad for me, but it's not like I went and bought a thing of pecans. So I knew what was in it. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
Like I want to know.
Even though you put the Heath bar stuff in there?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I made it. Now, I shouldn't have eaten it, but I started this whole thing out mostly because I was freaked out. I was over 200 pounds. Or I was at 200 pounds. I got down to 190, I think 1. Then I'll post again this Monday, but I think I'm going to be below that. I think. Because I got up to 194 again, but I've been doing good. And with how disgustingly hot it is out here, as soon as I step outside, I just drenched, absolutely drenched. My dog, since he's can't really put a lot of pressure on his leg, he's figured out that wherever he goes, he's going to be there for a while. So he's unwilling to help move himself literally at all. The other day, got home, he wanted to go outside. So I've got this sling I put underneath him and I take all the pressure off his back legs. He's 180 pounds, so it's a lot. So I got him out back and he got into the shade and laid down. And I let him sit there for 30 minutes, whatever, just relaxing. He was happy. And then I'm like, okay, it's going to take him a while to get in. So 30 minutes before I'm supposed to be or wanted to be back at work, I'm like, all right, let's get him. It took me 40 minutes to get him, not in the house, up off the ground. What I eventually I tried bribing him. I tried pulling him. What I eventually had to do, because the sling wasn't underneath him anymore, is I had to lay the sling out in front of him and then lay a trail of ground beef across the sling. And he ate it as he army crawled. And when he was finally over that, I got that thing. I stood over him and I picked him up until all 4 of his paws were basically off the ground. So 180 pounds, I'm shrugging. And he looked at me like, I'm not helping you. This is, you're going to have to put me back down or carry me like this. So I put him back down. I was so mad. I was, yelling at him. I know it's not his fault. He's injured. He doesn't know what's going on. Finally, Riggins came around, sniffed his nose a few times and walked away. And Brutus got right up. I'm like, oh, but it did teach me or reminded me is that I don't need to be able to control Brutus. I just need to be able to control Riggins because Brutus will go wherever Riggins is.
Yeah.
So.
That's usually the best bet. If there's 2 dogs that are normally together, if one does something, the other will.
Yep.
So
we'll see how that goes. Here is an older article that I wanted to talk about, but weird new trend of eating raw, rotten meat to get high may cause explosive incontinence. Really? You mean eating raw meat might have a negative effect on your bowels?
Wow.
So people were eating it. It was mostly, I guess it kind of popped up during the COVID things, but those on the trend have dubbed it high meat and use meat left to rot for weeks, months, and in some cases, years.
I'm not a proponent of drugs.
Mm-hmm. But if
why don't you just go get drugs?
So what's interesting about this, though, is the high or the trip, whatever that psilocybin mushrooms give, is also your body's reaction to food poisoning. So it actually does make some sense. However, and again, not a specialist on mushrooms, but I don't think anyone's ever died just from eating them. Plenty of people have died from eating rotten meat. So that's a heck of a risk.
I mean, even if you don't die, it's going to be a very unpleasant 2-bucketer that,
Yep.
I mean, why chance going through that?
I don't know, but I just saw that and it made me laugh. Oops. Sorry, getting new emails here.
I do also just want to say, you said this might be a short one, and it's not going to be a short one. We're almost at the hour mark.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. When we get talking, we just kind of tend to go.
If we came in here with literally absolutely nothing, we'd be like, I don't know, maybe it's going to be a 15-minute episode. And an hour later, we'd be going, oh,
Still
maybe we should wrap this up.
But here is another thing. So we have a new employee. We had her go to take a test. The testing facility was out of supplies.
Really?
Yeah. And I posted this on Meatgistics, and a lot of the users on there kind of talked me down, not from being crazy, but told me, no, you're not crazy. We were up in Overland Park, a Casey's there. I walked in to get energy drinks for the drive back. It was literally 4/5 of the coolers were empty. Like literally 4/5. I walked up to the lady. I'm like, are you guys not able to get people to work to stock those, or can you not get them? She's like, we just can't get them. She's like, we can't get anything. So this is coming. Like they're saying, oh, well, you know, supply just hasn't caught up to demand yet. That's not what's going on.
I don't know if it's the supply entirely. Some of it is, but I think a lot of it is still just supply chain.
Yes.
They
can't get things moving.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to, I've talked to a couple people that are in the larger supply chain world, and they say they can kind of see some things changing and getting better, but
oh, really?
I don't know. I don't think.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's at least good news.
It doesn't seem like anything has changed yet. So until I see it change, I don't know that I'm going to believe it, because it just seems like it gets worse and worse.
Well, here's what's funny. Like, obviously, through all of last year, you and I were unbelievably stressed about being able to get things in when we didn't have control over our inventory. And then we started getting our own products in, our grinders, our mixers, and we're like, okay, we're good. We got a better, more reliable vacuum bag thing. But now I feel like we're right back to where we were last year. Like, I have no idea when anything's coming in, because nobody will pick up the containers and get them here.
Give it a few months. We just ordered in the last couple of weeks everything that we would have ordered through the entire rest of the year.
Right.
And we told them, send it as soon as you have it, and you can make it and send it. Our warehouse is already unbelievably full. Our warehouse manager earlier this week said that after this week, maybe today, because of the last container of vac bags we got in this morning, that he's probably going to have to start putting stuff in the storage building.
I saw him putting stuff out there today.
Yeah, because we are full. Yet this is May and June are usually the two slowest months of the year, but we have more inventory than we've ever had by far, and it's going to continue to go up.
Right. But okay. So we told them to make everything and send it to us. But unless those shipping containers get picked up, put on a boat, brought here, put on a truck, and here.
They'll get here. Just instead of 1 month, it's going to take 3. But I mean, we have bought so far ahead that if we run out, I mean, that's beyond what even we can forecast.
Okay. But I mean, sausage stuffers.
Yeah.
That wasn't a forecasting problem. That's just they're taking forever to get here.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, going forward, like, yes, now we still have a problem. Once we start getting stuff in, we're not going to have a problem.
Okay.
Once things start getting here, we have enough in the backlog and coming after that it's not going to be an issue anymore.
Okay.
I don't think so anyways.
Are they going to break ground on that building soon?
We will break ground on the additional storage building as soon as the city of Wichita gets their hind end I can't even talk because I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Get their rear end moving, because we're waiting on the Wichita and Evergy, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but it has something to do with the electrical box that's out there now and being able to move it.
Right.
And no one can take care of it right now, because we can't touch it. Our electrician can't touch it. We have to have them do it. But the building, the guy that is doing the building, he's literally already putting it together at his place and like assembling like as much of it as he can.
So he can just move it here.
So when he moves it here,
that's cool.
It's just going to go up like snap.
That's cool.
So I don't know. The first thing we got to do is we got to pour the concrete. But to pour the concrete, we got to have the electrical box moved.
Right.
So we'll see.
So everything's waiting on that.
Mm-hmm.
Not totally on the same thing, but in weird waiting things. I know somebody who had a problem with a wire that their internet runs through. They told them they'll be out there in 4 months to fix it. Also, same guy? Yeah, same guy. Owns his own business, perfectly good credit, at least I imagine. Bank told him they're not going to give him a home loan, a mortgage. for literally no reason. So he's just buying it for cash. So lots of weird things are going on right now.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest time of my life.
It's pretty crazy.
At least my 30s and 20s were great. So if my 40s are super weird, whatever. What are you going to do?
Yeah. If it gets bad enough, let's just have a party.
Here's an interesting
Forget
question.
everything else and just party.
On the zombie apocalypse type thing, like if everything goes complete to crap and it's what's the Mel Gibson movie, Road Warrior, Mad Max.
Yeah.
If it's that world, and like we've had a discussion of coming here, making this like home for people. It's easily defensible. We have plenty of nitrite, spices, all the like things you need. Does Patrick make the list of people who are allowed here?
We talked about this last week, first of all.
Yeah, I don't think it was last week.
It definitely
but it
was
was recent. But yes, Patrick is allowed as long as he brings supplies.
Okay.
He has to bring some sort of supplies.
And his dog.
I'm going to start my own
Yeah.
group where we infiltrate this place and take you guys down.
Okay, Patrick's not allowed in then.
I'm not worried about that. He's not going to get.
He
very
doesn't
far.
have the weapons to get that taken care of.
Patrick, is your dog very big? Is it going to be edible, or are we going to have to like?
It's 55 pounds.
Okay, you can bring your dog.
She's precious. She's 35 pounds.
Oh, I thought she was 55. Are you saying that a too big of a dog won't make it because they consume too much?
No, I'm saying we're going to consume the dog. So
if
it needs
things go
to be
terribly
It needs to be
wrong.
big enough to be worth it.
All the other dogs, if anyone touches my dog, I'll burn the entire
Your
place
dogs
down.
are very welcome to come.
Ooh, interesting. I was very creepy. Yeah, you said that. Interesting. I know I talked about this once before. So this is the last thing I'll touch on. This time when we dropped Brutus off, the vet had a much better way to approach if he codes on us, do you want him to bring him back? So much better. I was very pleased with that.
Did that panic you a little bit the first time?
Oh no, I was furious. My wife had to calm me down.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because he said, he's a big dog and they have problems with anesthesia. If he dies, do you want us to try to resuscitate him? Like, he's a 2-year-old dog. Of course I want you to. And my wife was like, well, maybe they say it that way in case the person doesn't want to have them resuscitated. They won't be mad at him. I'm like, why do you care what that type of person thinks of you? Like, you're a vet. Your job is to like help animals. But it was much better this time. So I didn't threaten to burn the place down again.
I'm surprised they do it that way. My Yam, which I know, imaginary dog,
Sure. Yeah.
she's going to go in next Tuesday maybe to get spayed.
Okay.
They put him under anesthesia. They're going to do a test on her first that checks to see, I don't know.
If she has a response to that anesthesia.
Yeah, how she's going to react under it. That way we know ahead of time if we're going to expect issues or not. Because if the test comes back good, then we go, yep, whatever, just proceed. But if it comes back bad, then they have to be a little more careful with things. But
So they may do that at this place, but Brutus has already been put under for anesthesia.
Okay.
So they would have, I assume they would have talked to our vet and known that. But yeah. All right. Anything else?
that's all I got.
Cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I enjoyed just having no real plan and just kind of rambling, but we had good articles today. That is a huge help.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the articles. We sometimes we get some that are just so doom and gloom everything.
Uh-huh.
This one, I mean, we always have some doom and gloom because I feel like that's kind of the world we're living in right now. But there was a lot of interesting ones. I really liked the college butchery program.
Yeah.
Even though you were worked up over that, I feel like I brought you off the ledge.
Pointing out that I'm stupid. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening, watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, anything like that, please leave a review. It really does help. And share the podcast, family, friends, anyone you know who you think might enjoy it.
Sounds good.
Any vegetarians.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltonsinc.com. And to get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Walton's, everything but the meat.